Well, CT, it's just that. What you guys were just talking about, a lot of people on social media reacting to that Cavaliers loss. They were held to 58 points through 3 quarters. Not a hot night for the Cavs starters either. Social media freaking out about the loss. Quandre Diggs, Los Spurs ran Braun and the crew off the court. Cavs out of here. Sports Pickle, you can't sugarcoat it. The Cavaliers are awful right now. Throwing a little bit of shade right there at LeBron, I think, with the sugar code instead of sugar coat. Celtics writer Adam Himmelsbach, at this point, I'm genuinely not sure if the Cavs are just waiting for the playoffs or if they have major flaws. The starters J.E. Skeets, Cavs for the last 4 weeks. And Believe in Cleveland gives a live look at the response to a friend asking, are the Cavs going to win it all this year? Not too sure. Even the Cavs admit it was a bad game, photoshopping this popular picture to say, Thomas, let's both work on getting our scores up. Love Cavs. LCT, with that loss, the Celtics now move to number 1 in the Eastern Conference standings.
Indeed, I think you mentioned it the last time that Cleveland wasn't number 1 was
November 8th, I think, something like that.
And I don't know if it was 2016. I had to check that might have been 2015 when I saw it. It might have been.
I didn't even look at the year when they flashed the stat up during the game because I just figured it was this year.
Cavs out of first in the East for first time since November 9th, 2015. That wasn't just this November. That was November 9th, 2015. So It's been a long time. The Cavs always hold down that top spot. We've discussed it before. Certainly, you still think the Cavs can get to the NBA Finals without the number 1 spot.
They're going to be the favorite no matter what spot they're in. We saw the Hawks have home court advantage 2 years ago when they were the 1 seed, and it didn't matter. The Cavs still got their way to the finals.
That just makes it a whole lot tougher, though, because the winner of the 1-8 matchup then plays the winner of the 4-5 matchup. If you're that 2 seed, then you have to play the winner of the 3-6. So if it all shakes out, you're a Cavs team that could end up playing maybe the Wizards
and that's exactly what will happen. We think.
How it all plays.
A lot to be determined. A lot to be determined, but things would have to change from what they are now with the Cavs in the 2 spot. If they are in that 2 spot, they'll have to see the Wizards and not go through Toronto, and they would much rather, and this is all assumption. We know that, but spinning it forward, they've dominated Toronto. Whether it's in the playoffs of the last couple years, they're undefeated against them this year. They've won 7 of their last 9 games against the Raptors. They can handle Toronto. It's a bad matchup for the Raptors. Washington, however, they're 2-1 against Washington, but the first time they played Washington, the Wizards were not this version of the team we've seen. And since the Wizards have really turned it on and flipped that switch, the Wizards killed the Cavs at the Q.
Just the other day.
And then the other game that was in Washington, LeBron had to hit that miracle bank shot to send it to overtime where the Wizards would have won both those games. And I don't think anyone wants to see the Wizards right now. I agree with that one tweet that said, I genuinely don't know if they're just horrible right now and totally out of sorts, or if there's a malaise that's kind of waiting for the playoffs. I can't tell. It's obviously somewhere in between. But as I mentioned to you, March is going to end with the Brooklyn Nets having more wins than the Cleveland Cavaliers in the month. And that is
crazy.
Something that...
We'll see if the Cavaliers can turn it on down the stretch.